What's going on there, Space Monkeys? Welcome to Political Fight Club. I'm Robert Durden, and Merry Christmas. This will probably be hitting you a day or two after Christmas anyway, or if you're just one of those people that doesn't like Merry Christmas, it offends you, and you're going to go blogging about how Robert Durden said Merry Christmas on his show. Happy holidays, whatever you want to say. If you're Nancy Pelosi, maybe you'll say Merry Schwistmas, or if you're Joe Biden, you'll say Happy Easter, everybody. It's a little joke for you. Because, of course, Joe Biden does not know what day it is. And Nancy Pelosi, when she does that, you think, like, is she just that old? Or is she just that drunk? It's both. Both is happening at the same time. So anyway, let's talk about, we haven't done a Power Rankings episode in a while, and I'm not going to do a whole lot of those anymore, but I always like to promote other content creators that I've noticed have done good work recently, and then send you guys an article or two that they've done and just rank them. I'm not going to do that today. We're not going to do any particular order, but this is going to be themed the content creators who I just discovered, who you guys have sent me to have a look at. And I find myself constantly like changing content creators. Sometimes, for instance, 2 or 3 years ago, I was all about like secular talk and like the rational national, and look how far we've come. So I always like to see new content creators as I'm kind of like, sifting through them and seeing who's doing the best work. And I only have so many hours in the day. So these people are people who have recently made the list, who you guys have thankfully sent me, who I think are doing awesome work. And I highly recommend you go and check them out. Burn It Down with Kim Brown. I've only seen 2 episodes of hers, just found her. And I don't remember who recommended her, but she does really good work from what I can see. She's very feisty, very entertaining and informative. I really quite like her show. It's called Burn It Down with Kim Brown. Another one, what I've really been listening to this one a lot lately, is The Left Lens with Danny Haifong. If you guys have gone on the PFC Facebook page, I have put a lot of his work up recently. He's had a lot of, Danny Haifong writes for like Black Agenda Report. I've read a couple of his articles and reported on 2 or 3 on this show. And he does a show called The Left Lens where he interviews people. And I think recently he's had like Scott Ritter, and he had another like heavyweight recently, like really recently. It might have been, I can't remember who it was, but he's had a lot of really, really good interviews recently. So I highly recommend The Left Lens with Danny Haifong. Next one is Chris Hedges' YouTube channel, which I've mentioned once before, but didn't actually rank it. It just started, and of course it's gaining traction. But because it's Chris Hedges, they're always going to blacklist him. So I highly recommend going and checking it out. That's everything Chris Hedges does is great, and it's called just the Chris Hedges YouTube channel. I'll link all this below. Another one is Behind the Headlines. That's Lee Camp's show on Mint Press News. And Mint Press News has their own YouTube channel, but this is new, Behind the Headlines, and Lee Camp interviews people once or twice a week. He always does great work, but this is a new YouTube channel. It's not Lee Camp's channel. It's not Mint Press News' channel. It's Behind the Headlines. So I highly recommend you go check that out. And then another one is Midwestern Marks, which I got recommended about probably 6 months ago, and I hadn't checked them out really much until recently. But I've really liked their work too. That's Eddie Liger and Carlos, where they talk. I think they're both literally from the Midwest. Same with me. And they do news, but also talk theory a lot, and it's really relatable. And they know a lot more about Marxism than I do, so I like listening to them, and I like their channel. It does a lot of variety, and it's very entertaining as well. They're very good content creators. So that's Midwestern Marks. And then the other one is Uncaptured Media, which is Dan Cohen's new YouTube channel, which is awesome. I haven't watched very much on it, but the cool thing about it is that he has his new documentary on Haiti, on what's going on in Haiti right now. If you guys don't know, there's an uprising, a revolution happening in Haiti. In America, they're calling it like a terrorist uprising, where it's like a bunch of thugs trying to overthrow the government. Really, no, they have a leader down there named Jimmy Barbecue, nickname Jimmy Barbecue Cherizier, who has gotten a lot of the neighborhoods to kind of work together as little cells, defensive cells, and he's sparked a revolution via these like neighborhood watch groups, like neighborhood police groups, really, that are all working together, and he's kind of leading that. So they're calling him like a crazy terrorist. Dan Cohen's 3-part documentary is on his YouTube channel right now. I highly recommend you go and watch it. I haven't even watched all of it yet. I've only watched the first one. But I've heard him talk about this before. The channel's definitely worth checking out because it's new. That's Uncaptured Media, Dan Cohen's new YouTube channel. And I'm going to go watch the rest of that documentary right after I get done with this video, actually. I think it's going to be awesome. So the other two things that are cool is Primo Radical is also back. He was off for a while. Love his channel. I'm glad he's back. Welcome back, Primo. And on Rumble, System Update, like Glenn Greenwald and Russell Brand are doing a lot of collaboration now. So it looks like they're going to be doing the news quite often. And Glenn Greenwald has been doing, he's done nightly newscasts on Rumble for like the last 10 days, mostly covering the Twitter files, which has been fabulous. And then the first episode, he had like 26,000 live viewers on Rumble. That makes me very happy. I highly recommend you go check out System Update. That's Glenn Greenwald's show on Rumble, and Russell Brand also on Rumble, because I'd love to see them pump up Rumble as an alternative to the censoring YouTube. And also, I just like both their shows, and I think they deserve your sub. So anyway, let's move on. We're going to tell some jokes at the end here, but I'd like to start off with, now it looks like Elon Musk is actually going to be stepping down as CEO. I don't know if he's actually going to do it. He put up a poll. The poll was pretty overwhelming that he should step down from CEO of Twitter. We'll see if he picks a new CEO to replace him. But if he's thinking about possibly replacing himself with somebody that might actually piss off the shitlibs worse than him being the CEO, because I know he's kind of like a chaotic guy. I know he kind of gets off on like going viral and doing things that a lot of other rich people really don't like, especially established neoliberal order. They really don't like Elon Musk, and I think he kind of gets off on pissing them off. So, Elon, I know you're probably not going to see this, but if you do, in the next couple of days, here are some options for breaking the internet by getting all the shitlibs' heads to explode simultaneously. These are people you could name as your successor as CEO of Twitter. Number 5 is Susan Sarandon. And the actress, yes. The neoliberals do not like her at all because they blame her because Hillary Clinton lost to Donald Trump for endorsing like the Green Party. Like, they blame celebrities of basically, like, she's not the most powerful person in the world here exactly. She's an actress. But yeah, that's why she's so hated. And every time she does anything, comes out and says anything good about a third party or about, you know, anything in this country, the neoliberals just bring that up and they hate her. So Susan Sarandon could be one of them. Another one, Jimmy Dore. They hate him because he talks too much truth and he destroys Democrats on the daily. He's just a comedian, pothead who does the news similar to what I'm doing right now, but better, and the neoliberals absolutely fucking hate him. And a lot of the people who you call left and who we can consider progressives, like AOC in Congress, yeah, I know you're not a big fan. He trashes her routinely. That's why they hate him. So more incentive there. Jimmy Dore, make him CEO. That would be great. That would blow all the shitlibs' minds simultaneously. Kanye, I don't want you to do that. That's going to be bad. But I'm just saying, if you wanted to break the internet, Kanye, I don't. I think Kanye is out of his fucking mind, especially with what he's been saying lately. It's a little scary. But I'm just saying, you could. And then these last two, you guys know who they are, or at least you know one of them. Number 2, Donald Trump. Again, it would be a horrible, horrible idea. I don't know if he'd even accept the job because he seems pretty dedicated to Truth Social at this point, but I'm just saying, if you wanted to break the internet, that's what you could do. It's a bad decision though. But if your only goal is to piss off the shitlibs, that's an option. And then the last one, and I know you guys are asking, who could possibly piss off the neoliberal order more than Donald Trump as CEO of Twitter? Julian Assange. Think about it, Julian. If you want your network or your social media platform to be free speech, if you want that to be what it represents, Julian Assange is literally in prison right now for doing journalism. He represents free speech and freedom of the press. And the neoliberals hate him probably more than Trump. Probably more than Trump. Not kidding. So look into it. There was a poll that you put up, Elon, that said something to the effect of, should people like Snowden and Assange get presidential pardons? And it was overwhelmingly, like 80-20 at least, in favor of, yeah, these people like Snowden and Assange need pardons. That should be enough to tell you should make Julian Assange CEO of Twitter. Yeah, and he is in prison, but once he's a CEO, as you know, you can basically do whatever the fuck you want. He can, once that happens, he's got enough money to buy off the politicians that are keeping him incarcerated right this very second. He'll just outbid the next person because he's a multi-billionaire at that point. So think about it. It would be a good way to really etch your legacy as a CEO of a platform that truly represents free speech into history forever. Julian Assange is CEO of Twitter. Think about it, Elon. All right, we're going to move on. We're going to just, these are musings, little jokes that I wrote as the week went on. We're going to roast a couple of people too. I saw that Andrew Tate, who is he is a kickboxer, I believe. Not really into that stuff, but that's what he does, and he's kind of like an icon on the internet right now. He says that if you read books, you're scared of life, and real learners, real people who want to learn, don't read books, they learn from life. And he even went so far as to say that they're kind of like scared. They're scared of life. Listen, the only person that says something like that is somebody who's actually afraid to read books because it's hard. So I'm reminded of that Bill Hicks joke back in the day where he's talking about how he's sitting in the Waffle House and he's reading a book and the waitress comes up to him and goes, "What you reading for?" What am I reading, or what am I reading for? That's an interesting question. And the punchline goes, "I suppose I'm reading so I don't end up a fucking waffle waitress." And in this case, my joke is, I recommend you do some reading so that you don't end up like Andrew Tate. Because anybody that's listened to him talk for more than 2 or 3 minutes knows that he's a fucking idiot. You think he's one of those people that, like Andrew Tate's sitting at home, and he's got War and Peace, and he's just thumbing through it. Takes him a couple of days or a couple of weeks. He gets to the end, and he closes it, and he goes, "You know, I tried it, just didn't work for me." No. Don't knock it till you try it, Andrew. Andrew Tate telling you that reading is for losers or makes you scared is like Chris Christie saying that, exercise and a healthy diet are for scared losers, and I tried it once and it just didn't work for me, as he simultaneously stuffs M&Ms into his Big Mac with his fucking fat fingers. Yeah, we all know that you haven't tried it. So maybe try reading a book before you knock it. Anyway, if I had a nickel for every shitlib Elon Musk has pissed off this week, he would no longer be the richest man on earth because I would be. I made a list. Oh, and this isn't really a joke, but I hope that Elon gets rid of the bots because instantly, as soon as those bots are gone, we're going to watch like Brooklyn Dad and Lakota Man and JoJo from Jersey's follower count drop like 80%. That's my confirmation that the bots are actually gone. I'm just saying. And I've been watching them. I wrote down where they're all at, and so far the bots still seem to be all over Twitter. I'm just saying, Elon, you can get on it. And I won't believe that they're gone until all of these people, Brooklyn Dad, Joe from Jers, Lakota Man, Inc., Jack Cocciarella, until their follower counts are highly down from where they are. It has to drop 50%. Because we all know that if you tweet something like, "Joe Biden's farts smell like flowers," and it has instantly 10,000 likes, something's up there. Methinks bots. But I could be wrong. But I'm going to be watching those just in case. That's all I've got for you guys today. Hope you enjoyed that episode. If you want to see some actual substance, you have to check me out on Rockfin. Keep fighting that good fight out there, and we'll continue the book club probably later today. See ya.